You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess, and the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 116th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined today by Ray. Hi, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
And if you are thinking in your head, wait a second, hasn't Andrew already done that intro? Fallout Feed episode 116, welcome to that. You are correct. I launched into Fallout Feed number 116 last episode. Not the holiday special, but the last regular episode. When that episode is actually Roundtable Season 7, Episode 1. I don't know why that we started doing that, but we started numbering our episodes differently if we're doing Roundtable content versus just normal chit chat. So last episode that I said was 116 was actually the kickoff of the Season 7, character draw and everything. So, gee whiz. Well, no. Character draw was before that. We did, we talked about our characters already, didn't we, Ray? We did that last episode.
Yep, that was last episode.
Yep. So, last episode, I launched into, I don't know. The schedule's all crazy, and I have no idea what I'm doing. 100 episodes of the show.
It had only been a couple of days since we actually did the charity stream.
Yeah.
We've done, so it all blurs together.
We've done 5 episodes in the last 2 weeks, I think. With the, the charity stream and then the Christmas episode. And then,
oh, yeah. Good times, though. Good times.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. We've actually heard quite a bit of feedback from people saying that they really enjoyed the holiday episode. Some people say they're going to listen to it again. Someone was like, I'm going in to work on Christmas Eve. I hate the fact that I have to go into work on Christmas Eve, but I'm going to listen to your damn podcast and try to be festive about it. I was like, that's a good attitude, man. And thanks for listening to the show. That's great. Yep. Holy crap. Wonderful. So this roundtable project we're getting into here, guys, people are sending in feedback. They're rolling their characters using our random character generator over on the website. It's a ASA podcast, asapodcasting.com. All you new listeners out there, you're wondering, what the hell is ASA podcasting? ASA is A Skyrim Addict. Our flagship show for our little network here, ASA podcasting, was a show called, or is a show called A Skyrim Addict. Still goes on. If you like Fallout, you found us because you're searching for Fallout, but you also enjoy the Tamriel games as well, the Elder Scrolls stuff. Please go check out A Skyrim Addict and their podcast feed. But ASA Podcasting is our little network that we do. So check out A Skyrim Addict as well. We endorse that highly. Now, tonight on our show, we're doing this roundtable. People are sending in their feedback to the thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. They're just talking about their characters this evening. Everyone rolled their characters using the random character generator, like I mentioned. It's good times. I really like the generator. And Ray, have you how deep are you in with your character here?
I am not at all. So I'm at level 2 right now.
Nice.
And standing at the edge of Flatwoods.
And does that mean you've just left the vault? Basically, you level up when you leave the vault, right?
Yeah. Well, and so it was kind of interesting. So I played around with it a little bit because I had seen that you can leave the vault without stopping at all the stations. And so I tried it out, and sure enough, you get outside and there's a little bag waiting for you out there. You pick it up, and all of a sudden you've got, level up and good times.
Does the bag have everything that you would have stopped at for the stations?
Yeah. Even if you don't normally pick up the pin, the glasses, and the party hat, they're in there.
Okay. That's interesting. So I had no idea. How did you hear about that? Where'd you find that one out?
I don't know. I think somebody in the group talked about it.
Oh,
Um,
on the Facebook page that we have?
that's right.
Yeah. Look for us on Facebook. It's a Skyrim Addict podcast, and the Fallout Feed is the name of our group. Nice, short, concise name there. Good one.
But very descriptive.
Yeah, so I'm having the trouble I'm finding, Ray. I'm having the trouble with my character right now. Is that I get involved with doing some stuff and I get a couple of level ups in, then I haven't taken the time to stop and actually level up the character. And then I go and I see, oh wait, I have 4 level ups that I need to do, or 3 level ups I need to do. And I go back and I look at my generator screen cap, and I'm like, okay, let's see. Strength is supposed to have 3, endurance for 4, and I'm sitting there counting and stuff. I need a better system. Like, either I need to stop and do it immediately every time I level up, or I need to like have an each time I level up, I should have this many in each category.
Well, the screenshot has the order that you take your perks in.
Yeah.
So you can just follow that.
But if I'm like, okay, let's see, I'm level 18, that means I've missed 4. So 14 was this. Do I have that many luck? Okay, do I have 3 luck? Yes, I do have 3 luck. Okay, so then it just takes me an extra couple seconds to figure out what it is. I'm just saying I'm so dumb and lazy now that I want everything immediately done for me, Ray.
Well, but you're playing on Xbox, so I can't even write some kind of a script program for you.
Ray, you need to create a script program that scripts for Xbox as well. Also, Fallout Feed flag in Fallout 76 someday?
One of these days.
How is that going to work? What do you have to do? I've heard that there's some mods floating around for PC already, but no offense, but you're not a modding extraordinaire or anything. That was your first real.
Well,
No,
first and only mod.
Yeah, I thought you tried one for Skyrim too. Weren't you trying to do something?
Well, I'd started helping Marcus out.
With
he was going to do the robes.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got the Creation Club loaded and all that kind of stuff, was to work on that with him. And that kind of got sidelined. So
did we ever get robes made? That could anybody actually wear robes? I remember there was a picture floating around, but I think that was just a Photoshop or something, right?
Yeah, I don't remember ever saying anything. And so I had played around. My my system had the Fallout Feed baseball uniform and ball cap, but I never put that into a mod and put it out.
That a ton of work to do, or how does that happen?
It's not too bad. It's just a matter of packaging everything. You get your textures in place, and then load them in to the game and get it set up in a package, and then you can post that on the Bethesda.net.
So, couple days, couple hours. What are you looking at?
Well, that one, so it would really only take me a couple of hours to get that packaged up, since I've already got the thing finished.
And what about the original design? Yeah, I assume you had to put the flag together and all that, and then convert. I don't know. Do you start in Photoshop and convert stuff? How does that work?
First off, you have to figure out how they make it happen. So in this, with the flag, there's 3 different layers to the flag.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and so the top layer with the graphics on it is where you do all the Photoshop work, and then the rest of the stuff you do. You're just putting them in a package. If you need to adjust it, you do. But that's also where I got the one of the layers flipped, and so it turned itself, it turned into a one-way mirror.
Yes, I set up an interrogation room in one of my at the castle once because I set up a shop with flags on one side, but you could sit there and watch everyone from the other side because you could see through it, but they couldn't tell.
No, they couldn't see you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So hopefully one of these days, it shouldn't be too many years before I retire. So once I do that, then I'll have the time to have fun and do this kind of stuff all the time.
Just Ray's gonna be locked in his attic doing the modding, sous videing and modding.
Yeah, and yelling out the window at the kids to get off my lawn.
My lawn. Oh yes, Ray. Well, how and from Fallout 4 to Fallout 76, as far, I mean, you probably don't know anything really yet, but is there going to be a big difference modding for the two games?
Well, so it uses the same engine, so it'll just be a matter of what you can make as a server side mod, because in order for everybody else to see it, we're gonna have to have private servers so that we can have mods loaded on the server itself. So when people join, they can see the different things. Right now I could have my baseball uniform with the Fallout feed on it, but I would be the only person that could ever see it.
You could actually drop that into the game right now?
Yeah.
And photo mode it up and take some screen caps and take your screen caps and stuff?
Yeah. Wow. I would just have to I would have to find the textures.
So
they're in there somewhere.
That sounds like a good promotional photo item there, Ray. We should hook that up maybe.
Yeah, I'll have to work on that when I have more than one day in a row off.
Oh, come on. You got breaks at work?
Yeah.
Lunch break? Come on. You need to start doing you're not busy enough.
Clearly.
Yeah, so I've been having a good time. Fallout 76 in it up recently. I have a new friend who lives on top of my roof, Ray.
Yeah.
It's a two-headed friend. Very festive.
A red-nosed dragstag
clicking up on my housetop.
Nice.
And you put it next to a generator and its nose glows at night.
Oh, cool. and here all this time I thought that was Phil.
Yeah. Oh geez. Phil is looking gross. No offense, Phil.
Oh, okay, Mr. Marie.
Mr. Marie is wearing Mrs. Claus's outfit because I don't know if you know this, but as a substitute teacher, he was also a seasonal Santa Claus. But as he got sucked into Fallout into Vault 76 and could never go back to Santa Clausing anymore, he wanted to be Santa Claus again out in the wasteland now that he's released. But he's so darn confused with the whole Marie thing now that he has to wear Mrs. Claus's outfit running around. And his bonnet is just adorable. But he still has Santa Claus's beard. It's really great. Some good stuff going on over here.
Mrs. Claus does look good with the beard.
Yeah. And Pat referred to Mrs. Claus as frumpy.
Well,
I think my wife just concurred with that as well. Does it have anything to do? Does it have anything to do with the fact that I have the fattest character body style possible? It's the bonnet. The bonnet makes it frumpy. The apron's adorable. It's got cute little holly on it and berries. My wife's not impressed with the bonnet. Frumpy.
It's a fine looking bonnet.
I love it. So the big controversy this week is, oh my god, a $20 fucking Atomic Shop bundle for all this Christmas stuff. Now I know a lot of people wouldn't waste their time with it, but I didn't really spend many atoms because I was specifically saving it for this thing, this opportunity. When it came out in November, I was like, you know, Fallout Shelter went fucking crazy with the outfits and costumes, right? I don't think you ever played Shelter, did you? I never heard you mention it, I don't think.
No, not really. I loaded it, but never did anything with it.
Yeah, they one of the big things was the costumes, in Fallout you collect your Marine combat armor and this and that and the other, but in Shelter, it was really like, oh, it's near the holidays. Here's a Santa suit, a Mrs. Claus suit, all these elf costumes. Near Halloween, it was like a skeleton, a witch, a mummy. They had all these great costumes. Uncle Sam and stuff like that, 4th of July. So I was thinking, they've got to start incorporating a lot of these cool costumes into 76. So, around Easter, fully expect a big pink bunny suit, right?
Sure.
Was there a pilgrim hat? There should have been a pilgrim hat at Thanksgiving if there wasn't.
I thought there was one that looked kind of like it. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time in the Atom store.
Yeah, you don't. You don't play Shelter. You don't do the Atom store. You just do cool stuff like build Fallout Feed flag mods and just play on PC over there in your uncomfortable stand-up chair.
I have a very comfortable, sturdy gaming chair.
It ain't no couch, Ray.
Yeah, it helps me stay alert and focused.
It helps. Yeah,
and
helps
keeping proper posture.
I walk into walls
so that my reflexes are, cat-like.
My stim packs are gone, and I wake up with a load on the main menu, like disconnected from server. Yeah, that's what the couchers do right there. That's me passing out on the couch. All right. Sorry for going so long. Lee, thank you for sending in some character feedback here. We'll go ahead and get into all of this characters here. So we've got Lee, Sarah, Phil, Beardy Sai, Eddie, Josh, Leon, Steve, and Will to hear from this evening. Thank you guys so much for sending in your feedback to the Fallout feed. This is a community-based project, and we really couldn't do it without each and every one of you sending in your feedback. We're a big role-playing community, and we love to hear the stories that everyone is living out in the wasteland. So we tip our hats to you out there in the community. Thank you so much for sending in your feedback. Lee has been with us a long time. He's done many seasons, at least since season 3, if not 2, or maybe even 1. I have no idea. Lee's been around a long time. So Lee, thank you so much for keeping up with us. And let's check out your new character.
Greetings, Fallout Feed guys and gals. This is Lee Benjamin. Today we'll begin telling the tale, A Loner's Journey, for Season 7 of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. My randomly generated Fallout 76 character is a female named Loner. When she gets to level 50, her special stats and assigned perks will be Strength, 11, Barbarian, Perception, 7, Fire in the Hole, Endurance, 6, Cola Nut, Charisma, 8, Friendly Fire, Intelligence, 6, Fix It Good, Agility, 11, Dodgy, Luck, 7, Curator. I noticed the Fix It Good perk, which has been rumored to not work at the moment, so we're hoping that gets fixed by the time she has to have it. It looks like she'll be strong and fast, a role she'll have to grow into over time as the points are assigned. Her assigned camp zone will be the Savage Divide. Her assigned mutation, should she get it and be able to keep it, is Marsupial. Her assigned workshop will be located in the Poseidon Energy Plant Yard. Owner was born in Vault 76 and is 23 years old. Sometimes she likes to pretend she's French and pronounces her name L'Honneur. Her parents were smart. After all, they were chosen for 76 and knew that they had no idea what life might be like in the post-apocalypse, and their daughter's best chance at survival was to be self-reliant, and they chose her name as a constant reminder of it. She grew up with friends, but none close, as she was constantly trying to assess who they and she might become in the days after Reclamation Day. Well, that's it for today. Perhaps we'll see you in the wasteland.
All right, Lee. Thank you so much. He's listing off these perks, Ray, and I have no idea what any of these perk cards do yet. I mean, we recognize some from Fallout 4, but it seems like there's a ton that there's just, I don't know. They're expanding the universe of that.
So Fire in the Hole, I believe, gives you the throwing arc on your grenades, the one that you used to get in Demolition Expert.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. I see. Yeah, you only need to do that once, really. I had a character who used that perk, and then I got really good at knowing where the arc was, and then I didn't need to use it in characters in the future because I could always tell from that previous character. I taught myself using that arc perk how to throw them, so I didn't actually need to use it in the future.
Yeah, so the interesting thing would be, so this is for any thrown weapon, which I would imagine that it would probably be different for the tomahawk and the throwing knife than it would be for the grenade.
Do you think it just draws a straight line? Like, I mean, the knife has a slight arc to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Lee's going to have to report in on that.
Yeah. And what else did he mention? There was a bunch I didn't even recognize. I should have jotted them down as he went.
So he's got friendly fire, so he can flame throw his friends and they won't get hurt.
Oh, that's the picture he uploaded into the Facebook page the other day or a couple weeks ago. Him and Phil were torching each other's nuts or whatever, right?
Yeah, and then Fix It Good is maintaining power armor.
Okay. Lee, gosh, I think I remember Lee being a power armor guy, right?
Oh yeah. Yep, he is.
Well, that's good. That'll work.
Yep.
Nice. Is that an intelligence? Is all this building and crafting stuff still all crammed into intelligence?
Yeah. Fix It Good is intelligence, and then he's got Dodgy and Curator.
Dodgy, is that agility? Like have a chance to miss damage or something?
Yep. Avoid incoming damage.
Okay.
But that costs action points.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what that looks like played out on screen.
No.
Cool.
Probably your action point meter going down.
Yeah, but I wonder if it actually has an animation where your character dodges or something,
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
And then Curator. So bobbleheads and magazines last twice as long.
Okay. That's luck?
Yeah.
Interesting. That sounds like an intelligence one to me for some reason. Luck is one of the categories that my character is highest concentrated in. I think I'm already up to level 4 or 5 with luck, and I can't wait because that what's it called? Starched jeans? Is that the one I'm looking for? That's luck, correct?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that one yet.
That's the one where you can freeze your mutations that you like.
Right.
Now, that sounds wonderful because there's some cool mutations that I'd really like. People are having lots of fun with marsupial, which is the jump high in the air one. I also like bird boned, which makes you fall more slowly, so you can. It's not like wearing power armor where you can just jump off the top of bridges and stuff, but you do take. Yeah, you can't jump from that high, but you can jump from fairly high up and still survive a good fall. I like that one. But it really tanks out your either strength or intelligence or something. It was crazy. It's probably strength with bird boned. I assume that would make sense.
Yeah, I accidentally jumped off of the New River Bridge.
That's the big,
the super tall one. Yeah, the green one.
The first thing I did when I got power armor was run to that fucking bridge.
Well, I was trying to jump on the bus to loot it, and a ghoul hit me, and so I was in the air when he hit me, and it just kind of pushed me over the edge, and it took a really long time to hit the ground.
It's a big tall bridge, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. But that's not the Mothman bridge, right? Wasn't there a bridge collapse?
Oh, yeah, that was Silver something.
Silver Spring? No.
I don't remember.
Sarah in the group posted a podcast she recommended to me. I forget out the name of it off the top of my head, of course. But it talks a lot about these I don't know, cryptozoological phenomena. Is that the right term? I don't know. The mystery monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah, she says that it's the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant.
The Silver Bridge. Oh, so it is in the game. Is Mothman actually around there? I still haven't ran into Mothman. I've had 3 different characters going, levels totaling 50 or whatever.
Yeah, and the podcast is called Astonished Legends.
Astonished Legends. Yeah. So she posted, join our Facebook group and you'll get these great informational tidbits. She posted a couple episodes of the podcast that revolve around the Mothman that would be really cool to listen to. Yeah. So thank you, Sarah. Speaking of Sarah, why don't we go ahead and get into her feedback? Where are you? Hi, Sarah.
Sarah Saylor here with my introduction for my new Season 7 Roundtable character, Bradley. She is a female. Her camp zone is the Ash Heap. Her faction, the Responders. Mutation, Chameleon. Her workshop is Hemlock Holes Maintenance. She has a strength of 4, a perception of 7, an endurance of 11, a charisma of 12, an intelligence of 9, an agility of 9, and a luck of 4. Her chosen perks are Bandolier, Grenader, Good Doggy, Healing Hands, Makeshift Warrior, Goat Legs, and Grim Reaper Sprint. Pretty excited about that one because in all of my time playing Fallout, I've never actually taken Grim Reaper Sprint, but I heard it's pretty awesome. But anyway, here's a little bit about my character. Her name is actually Amanda Bradley, but she feels like Amanda or Mandy. It's just a little bit too basic for her, so she decided to go by her last name only. She is from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. That's where she grew up at. She was 9 years old whenever the bombs fell, and her father was part of the Vault 76 program. He's a engineer, and so he was, a perfect shoe-in for what they were looking for. Got to rebuild America. Anyway, her mother died in a car accident that she was also in. And she claims that she was saved by the Mothman. So she has an unusual interest in cryptids. And her goal whenever she leaves the vault is actually to go back home and to start looking for the Mothman who rescued her. Anyway, here is the official little thing that I wrote about her. October 23rd, 2102. 12:01 a.m. Dear Jack, it's hard to believe that Reclamation Day has finally arrived. There are so many things about life outside of the vault I've forgotten. How big the sky is, the feel of the grass under my feet, the smell of the air after it rains. It's easy to forget about all those things when you're stuck in a still tank the way we've been. But as the years have gone, I can feel the confinement of this place choking me. If I would have spent another year here, I think I would have gone insane. Knowing the gate, even now, is unlocked is all I can do not to make a break for it. I don't remember being claustrophobic before, but every year spent in this place makes it harder and harder to breathe. I'm not sure what awaits on the other side of the door. There have been plenty of rumors of radiated cannibals, fire rains from the sky. These are supposed to be the smartest people in America, but it hasn't occurred to them that nobody has any idea what we're supposed to has any idea what's going on. We're supposed to have sensors and cameras to monitor the outside. They have been damaged. My plan when I leave here is to go straight to Point Pleasant. I need to go home again. If there's any home left, that is. Anything could have happened on the surface. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Can anyone really go home again? I don't know if you're still alive or even if you're still in Point Pleasant or West Virginia for that matter, or if you even still remember me, but I hope to see you soon. With love from Bradley. Well, that's all. And I hope to literally see you all in the wasteland. Bye.
Isn't that so great that we can actually play with each other now? That's so fun. I just love that. Literally see you in the wasteland now. Who thought when we were saying that stupid line 3 years ago, we actually would be able to see each other in the wasteland?
Yep.
So sweet. I love it. And Sarah is particularly offended by all the negative feedback that the game is getting, which is great. So she's always reporting stuff like, well, I was Googling the other day and I typed in Fallout 76. And then the first thing that popped up in the Google the suggested search is why it sucks so bad or something. It's always great. So you keep rocking them, Sarah. Tell them, you can complain about it. We're going to have a good time, and fuck you for trying to convince us that it's a bad game if we're enjoying it, right? Right.
Absolutely right.
So,
love the optimism.
She's got Chameleon. Was that a mutation or a perk?
Perk. No. Chameleon's is the mutation.
It's also an armor effect as well, which is it basically is a stealth boy.
Right.
On your armor. So the mutation would mean that there'd be a negative side to it too. So I assume that it would increase your sneak ability or make you totally invisible, like a stealth boy would. Can you still like draw a weapon and fire and still be invisible and all that? That's almost unfair.
Yeah. So with chameleon armor, it usually, as long as you're sitting still and don't move, you remain invisible. So you can shoot, as long as you don't have to reposition too much to where it, causes you to come out of stealth.
But using a stealth boy, is that the exact same? Like you can't move around.
Now, stealth boy, you can move.
Can move. Can you fire a gun?
I think when you fire a gun and with a stealth boy, that you do come out.
That's weird. Why don't they just let you be invisible? Dang it!
Because it'd be too OP.
Yeah, you're right. But then there could be other perks where you have predator vision, where you can go hunting invisible people because you can see by heat instead of light.
They need that. That would be cool.
Vision. There's your first Fallout feed.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll be a really simple mod to make.
That would be great. Come on, predator vision. It'd be like VATS, but no, you should just no. That's how you go through it. You have to manipulate the VAT system somehow. That'd be totally great. It's already a weird color. She also mentioned Grim Reaper Sprint. That's the power armor running into people, bowling them over damage thing. Is that right? No.
No, that's when you
That's the train one. Pain Train. No.
right. Grim Reaper is when you make a kill in vats. You have the a chance of replenishing your AP meter.
Of AP. Okay. That's actually pretty useful.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've used that one a ton.
I'm surprised because that's a big
VATS one, yeah.
that
would sound like it. Interesting.
It's a little annoying in Fallout 4 because there's a very loud noise that's associated with the with it procking. So if you're in a quiet room playing, it gets quite boisterous.
So Grim Reaper Sprint and Mothman. How's she gonna feel about the Mothman? Saved her life. And that makes me ask. I haven't actually run into the Mothman yet. But from everything I've heard, the behavior of this bad guy is kind of bizarre, right?
Yeah, so I've come across a few of them, and on occasion it won't do anything. It just kind of sits there and looks at you. I did have one that attacked me, and it's got a sonic attack, very much like the Scorch Beast, but also it does this teleport thing. So it's sitting in front of me. It blasts me with its attack. I go to shoot it, and it appears behind me and hits me again. So that one was a little tougher. There's different kinds. I've not been able to figure out exactly which one does which, or why some of them don't attack at all, and even when you're shooting at them.
Is the sonic attack its only form of attack? Will it use any sort of melee swipe with claws or anything?
The only one that I've come across that attacked me used that the sonic one. I don't know if there's other varieties.
And different colored eyes? Is that right? Have I seen blue and red and different? Is that true or no?
I think I've only seen red.
For some reason, I thought that I saw different color. Okay. I mean, I haven't even run into them, so they are still literally a mythical beast to me. I haven't run into this thing yet. I've only seen one Grafton monster, and that was because we did the event, the parade in Grafton. I've tried to kill. I want to say snaggly beast. What are those snallygasters? Snallygasters just continually fuck my shit up. They're impossible. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've actively avoided them.
I was the first couple times I was like, yeah, I'll take this guy on, and now I know that you need to be perched up somewhere high where they cannot get you before, and I have to have like a high-powered rifle from a distance. I don't want to mess with those guys anywhere near them. No, thank you. But I do want to go over and mess around at the Morgantown High School and get myself some plastic. Right, Phil?
Hi, this is Phil Hermsmeyer, and I'd like to introduce you to my new roundtable character. Sammy Theodore Please was born just 7 years after Vault 76 was sealed shut to the rest of the unfortunate humanity that lived in the hills and hollers of Appalachia in 2077. Sammy was born in the initial wave of births following the closure of Vault 76. Vault-Tec had correctly predicted that a baby boom of sorts would follow along soon after the scientists, engineers, philosophers, politicians, and other glitterati of Vault 76 realized they had very little to do other than wait. Boredom set in, and Sammy and many like him were the result. The number of babies born surprised everyone, and most every child in the vault had a half-brother or sister, even if they weren't sure who. Sammy is an orphan, or at least he thinks he is. At least he's sure that he doesn't remember his mother or father, and no one in the vault will admit to knowing who or where his parents might be, or if they are even still alive. But on the night before Reclamation Day, when half the vault was intoxicated or worse, Sammy thought he overheard a discussion about his parents. Something about an illicit affair between a very important woman in the vault and a very young man. This same young man, he overheard, had suffered a tragic accident when he fell into the vault's sewage treatment system macerator and lost both legs and his manly bits. He survived and was retrofitted with new robot legs and replacement equipment that somehow used fusion energy and magnetic levitation to enable man-machine interaction. Sammy doesn't know who this man is or when he left the vault, but security officer Nakamura, downing his 12th glass of sake, loudly proclaimed to the assembled inebriates at the party that he was shacking up with an assaultron somewhere in the southeast. Sammy was essentially raised by Tommy Sullivan, the cafeteria soda jerk, who ran a local Subway sandwich outlet before the Great War. Sammy would like to follow in Sullivan's footsteps, but he also wants to meet his father, and if he really is the man with the bionic giblets, to help him do something about his human fertility. Sammy has a special ranking of Strength 8, Perception 9, Endurance 8, Charisma 6, Intelligence 6, Agility 8, and Luck of 11. His perks will include Basher, Concentrated Fire, Cannibal, Bodyguards, Contractor, Born Survivor, and Cap Collector. The genetic analyzer in the vault predicts that Sammy will develop the healing factor mutation if exposed to serious radiation. Sammy is no genius and is an emotional mess. If his goal of opening up a Subway sandwich store and human fertility clinic isn't realized, he's likely to become the first pack raider in Appalachia. He will likely rebuild the public workshop at the converted munitions factory to provide armaments to the Appalachian pack. He and the pack will ultimately build a camp in the Cranberry Bog, likely as he searches for the man who may be his father. Thank you.
God, I just got out of the high school. Loaded down with plastic over here. Thanks, Phil. Sammy. Where to get that mask? That clown one?
Is it a mask or is it makeup?
Is it? Oh God, that's his face?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I don't think that's a mask. So, but he's
I thought that was a random drop.
No, he's making a pack member.
Well, he doesn't need an animal mask head on because he looks like a freak of nature already.
Yeah, he is a special looking individual.
Gosh, that's great, Phil. Oh, it's creepy. No, I'm excited to hear more stories. Sammy, keep them coming. The Subway shop and fertility clinic.
We're getting great stories.
All sorts of miscommunication problems there, Sammy.
Well, it is his quest to find the man with the bionic giblets.
Oh, too good. Thank you, Phil, for sending in feedback. That's wonderful. Can't wait to hear more. We also hear from Beardy Sai. Hi, Beardy.
Well, hello everybody. It's Simon here, aka Beardy Sai. First time doing one of these roundtable characters and taking part, so let's just see how it all works out. So from the character roll the other day, my character's name is Coyle. He's male, so it's nice to two line up so I don't have to get inventive with the backstory. A camp is going to be in the ash heap, which will be, might change that. I've played a lot in the ash heap in recent weeks with my current character, and I'm a bit bored of being there. I can't remember where my workshop is off the top of my head. I very sensibly didn't write it down on the my wee cheat sheet here in front of me, but I've got one. The faction affiliation is the Raiders, so that'll be something different for me because I tend to play the characters on the more goody-goody two-shoes variety, Robin Hood kind of roguish types rather than out-and-out bad guys. So not sure what to do with that just yet. I don't really know how the Raiders storyline works out in the game. I think there's some information on it later on. But either way, I think I'm going to be playing him certainly more as a thoroughly self-centered individual who'll happily go through anybody to achieve what he wants to do, rather than just somebody who goes around shooting everybody he sees, because that's a bit predictable for a raider. So his mutation is going to be herd mentality. Gives him a bonus when he's in groups. So I guess I'm going to be looking to team up with people, which is, again, that's something a bit new for me because I don't tend to like playing multiplayer online. I think my last MMO I played was D&D Online, and I've not really done much online play since. So special stats, strength of 8, perception of 12, endurance of 8, charisma 6, intelligence 11, agility 5, and luck 6. So overall, he's favoring perception and intelligence. Looks like he's probably going to be, a bit shooty, kind of shoot people and build things to shoot people with, I think, between the crafting and a bit of VATS in there. So that's kind of cool. I'm liking how that's worked out. His perks, strength perk is pain train, so that's a power armor buff where you can run into people and I think it staggers them or deals damage or something. His perception perk is tank killer, so that's rifles ignore armor and they cause stagger, so that'll work out really nicely with the high perception. Endurance perk is rad resistance, which is always good to have. Charisma perk, strange in numbers, so positive mutations are boosted when he's in a team. So again, looks like I'm going to be looking to team up with folks. Intelligence perk is stabilize, so heavy guns get a boost in power armor. So back into power armor. I wouldn't normally play in power armor. I don't like the clunkiness and the slower movement, but I think this guy's going to be a bit of a power armor geek. Agility is packing light, so pistols weigh less. Well, I always carry a trusty 10mm, usually modded up to the hilt, so I suppose it's nicer, it'll weigh less. His luck perk is ricochet, so that can reflect some damage back onto people hitting you, so that's always kind of cool. Could be fun. So in terms of character, well, Coyle was an engineer pre-war. He worked for Westech, and he was involved with the power armor program, although he was on secondment to the Westech labs in West Virginia just before the bombs fell, so that's how we wound up in 76. So after 25 years stuck in the vault with people he didn't know or didn't like, he is thoroughly stir crazy, I suppose. He's just cabin fever is well set in. He's sick of living cheek by jowl with everybody else in the vault and having to put up with the rules and the regulations and all the menial jobs that you need to do just to keep the vault ticking over for 25 years. So the minute that door opened, he was out like a shot. So yeah, I think he's very much looking forward to being able to do his own thing. You'll probably see his rather neat vault dweller appearance is going to change pretty dramatically over the course of the next few weeks as he's gets to be the person he always wanted to be, I suppose. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. Unfortunately, I don't get a tremendous amount of free time to play, so I'll probably be lagging behind you guys a wee bit in terms of levels, but I suppose that'll just make more of a challenge. He's currently at level 6, so if I can get another couple of levels in there before before teaming up, or well, we'll see how it goes. But either way, if anybody sees me online, feel free to team up if you can figure out how to find somebody in the terribly awkward PC social menu. And yeah, I'll see you guys in West Virginia. Take it easy, folks, and good luck.
I think it's almost near impossible to lag behind us. You have
we have a very relaxed schedule.
You have to stop playing the game to lag behind us. We move at such a slow pace. Yeah. Literally the two quests we're going to talk about next week, everybody, are leaving the vault and finding the overseer's camp. That's the first 5 minutes of the game.
That's pretty damn ambitious there.
Oh, there's Pat. Oh, hi Pat. What's going on? Welcome to
Hey, sorry I'm late. I was sucked into launching a nuke, so I completely lost track of time.
That's very exciting. That's something that none of us have really talked about on the show. We know it's possible. We've seen it happen in the game. Did you figure out the codes and get all?
No. So I was trying to, and probably, frankly, this is probably worth an entire episode just talking about launching a nuke, because the code process is I don't think it's explained well in game at all. I found a Reddit post that actually explained it really clearly. It's not something you can, if you there's a 2-page Reddit post. If you go look at that, it's if you are familiar with word puzzles or transcription, transcription type ciphers and things like that, it's pretty clear. But the game does not explain it in game at all, as far as I can tell. So now the good news is, if you just want to launch nukes, you can go get the codes online. You do not have to figure them out yourself.
Do they change weekly or something?
They change weekly. I think it's Tuesday, on Tuesday morning or something. It changes.
And how does that information pop up online? Is someone just cramming away out there and just figuring it out and posting it online?
I think everybody probably by now knows there's these nuclear code pieces that you get from Scorched and Ghoul officers, and they're the things that when you run around the map they beep, and it's a Scorched officer or a Ghoul officer, and they've got a backpack that beeps. And so if you've run around outside at all, for more than just a few hours in the game, you've probably seen one. And you get this little code piece, and it's like a little digital number, and it has a number and a letter, and there's 8 for each code, for each silo every week. And there's a fairly complicated process to go through. And you have to get to a certain point in the main storyline as well. I don't think we're ready to kind of spoil that, on the show here, but you have to get to a point on the main storyline. And if you want to figure it out yourself, then you've got some more work to do. If you want to just go online and grab the code from Reddit, then you can just go do it once you get to a certain point in the main storyline.
That sounds like a pretty involved process. You mentioned that there needs to be a whole episode dedicated just to that. Well, the last episode of the roundtable this season.
Yeah, Death from Above. Yeah,
Death from Above is just one quest.
Or I guess what it's I Am Become Death is the actual launch. Yeah.
Yes, which was, gosh, who said that? That wasn't Oppenheimer. Who said that?
It was Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
It was I Am Become Death, Destroyer of Worlds. He quoted that. That was what he said when he saw the first launch in New Mexico.
Very nice.
So anyway, so Alex and some of his guys he runs around with were launching, and I happened to jump on right just in time to join him.
Super fun.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try that stuff out. And I heard you mention that you were hopping into blast zones and getting feral ghouls, glowing ones, and level.
Oh yeah, I know we've tried. I don't know if you guys. I'm behind on the show, so I don't know if you guys have talked about it. But if you go to White Springs Golf Club, even if it's not nuked, there's a lot of ghouls there. you get like a lot of leveled ghouls. But if you nuke White Springs and then go to the golf club, you get just wave after wave of glowing ones, and it's a great way to level up and get legendary items and all the special like nuclear items and everything that are a big deal in the game.
Can you nuke Deathclaw Island? Does special things happen everywhere you nuke?
I don't know. So I've only seen 2 places nuked: White Springs and Watoga. Those are the only 2 places I've seen nuked.
And Watoga is just silly with scorched beasts and horrible things.
Well, yeah, because Watoga is the fissure prime site. That's like the mother of all sites in the far southeast corner of the map.
I haven't found any of the silos yet either. You said that you have a bunch of them you have all 3 of them on your map already.
Yeah, because when you pick up the first time you pick up a code piece, I think this is right, because I picked up code pieces a long time ago. I think whenever the first time you pick up a code piece for Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie, it maps it on your map.
Oh, nice.
And it gives you that kind of like gray color or whatever, where you can't fast travel yet, but it's on your map. But you can't actually get into the silos until you get to the right point in the main quest line.
Okay. Interesting. So
yeah,
all those people who are launching nukes out there have obviously played a little bit of the main quest then.
Yeah, you have to, because you can't get into the
you can't get some sort of security device, a hand.
Yeah. So I don't know if have you seen the red laser? Well, yeah, you have, because it's in Fort Defiance.
Yeah,
that red laser
that's
grid.
As far as I've gotten in right there.
See, that's the way they can differentiate players without differentiating the world, because if you and I are both sitting in the room looking at that laser grid and you've passed the requirements or the quest line to get through the laser grid, it'll be blue for you. But if I've not, it'll be red for me. So it's not like a door. Like a door is either open or closed. But that laser grid can be red if you're not able to pass through it, or it'll be like blue if you are able to pass through it.
Nice.
So that's how. So like if I run to Fort Defiance, I can get through that grid. But if a level 1 player fast travels to Fort Defiance, they can't get through it because they haven't gotten to that quest line yet in the BOS quest line.
Speaking of levels and such, I'm still trying to decipher what really determines the spawn level of your bad guys. Is it people around you? Is it the location itself? Is it a combination of a bunch of different things?
I think based on what I've seen, it's a combo. So my guy is level 62 or 1 or something. Alex's character is 160 something or whatever. But I was running around Flatwoods today, killing level 1 mole rats and rad roaches. So it's a combo of your level and the place where you are. I think.
When I was at Fort Defiance the first time, Pat, I was getting level 20 stuff, and then you came to help me, and then all of a sudden everything was level 60 or whatever.
And what happened? You started getting experience. See, if you play your cards right, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's just that it is. Yeah, affected the bad guys being there. But then I brought Alex, who was level 100 whatever, to New Gad, and there were still level 1 scorched.
Yeah, so it's exactly what you said. It's a combo. It's not just one or the other. It's a combo of the area. Like I don't think you're not going to get Scorched Beach at Vault 76, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. He also mentioned D&D Online. Was the last online game he played? I didn't know there was a D&D Online. Is that?
I don't know if that's the exact name. I mean, there was. Was it Neverwinter? I never played. I played D&D for eons, but I don't know about the online game. I mean, D&D's had iterations in every conceivable format, so I'm not surprised there's an online game.
He's also sounded uncomfortable with being with the Raiders. Don't feel bad about that. I don't even know how the factions. The short amount of time I've actually played in the game and gone through the main quest, like I don't know what siding with a faction in this game actually means yet.
I don't think it means anything in gameplay terms.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll mean something to your role play if you're going to role play a character.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as I can tell, you can play all factions. You have to play all factions. Go through it.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually something I was thinking about. That I don't know if you could. You know how in like in Fallout 4, if you want to come out of the vault and race to find Nick Valentine, you can do that. You can like ignore everything in between.
Yeah.
You can just go to that vault and find Nick. But that's kind of you kind of have to do that because finding Nick kind of kicks off Kellogg and all the other bullshit in Fallout 4. So that's the point. You can kind of fast forward to that spot, but you can't skip that spot because it won't kind of fire off finding Kellogg until you find Nick. So I'm not sure on this game where it's responders, raiders, free states, BOS, blah blah blah. I'm not sure where you could like run to and kind of shortcut that stuff in this game.
I don't know. Yeah. Who knows if it exists yet? Someone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great. Thank you for the feedback there. And let's see, we'll continue on here with Eddie. Hi, Eddie.
Hello, everyone. Eddie here. Longtime listener, first-time contributor to the podcast. I'm here with feedback for my character role, Samantha Hopewell, her name better known as Sammy. She gained admittance to Vault 76 through her mom, a professor at VTU. She was only 5 years old at the time, so her memories of life outside the vault are limited at best. Once the vault door opens, she hopes to set out to find her estranged father. Before her death from a vicious mole rat bite, her mother had told her that her dad was a survivalist who believed that the government and Vault Tech were corrupt and enemies of the people. A few details on her. Her specials. Her strength is 11 with a perk of Heavy Gunner. Perception of 9 with the perk of Night Eyes. Endurance of 8 with Iron Stomach. Charisma of 8 with Lone Wanderer. Intelligence of 8 with Portable Power. Agility of 5 with the perk of Gunrunner. Luck of 7 with Luck of the Draw. Hopes to set up camp in the mire, probably not for a little while. Her faction is the Free States, a mutation of Egghead, and a workshop of Sunshine Meadows Industrial, the farm down in Flatwoods. It looks like it'll be a good time. It's pretty even across the board other than strength, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for listening.
Speaking of that, pretty even except for strength. It didn't seem like anybody got any extremes. There were no 15s or 1s, even 14s or 2s. Don't even recall 13s, you know what I mean?
Well, I think we had some 13s.
Didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to work that in where we throw out some 1s and 15s more frequently. That was one of the fun things about the Fallout 4 generators when you just get screwed in one of the categories. Like, well, I find a way to work around that. Well, sometimes you can put on a special piece of armor to counteract whatever that was, or so it's just another way that you have to angle the game a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun. I started a character after the roundtable character that I'm only doing strength and endurance for her. So, and until both of those are at 15, I'm not going to take any other specials. So, been interesting so far.
My first character I was doing in 76 was only agility for the first 15 levels. Well, there was one level Mo accidentally got me a charisma. But I did all my first intentional level ups were agility only, and then I went down perception. And I'm almost level 30, so I'm probably almost maxed out on those two. But that's my VATS build, of course. But yeah, that's pretty crazy to go min max like that.
Yeah.
The sneak, when you get your agility maxed out, though, the sneak is really pretty darn effective.
Oh, it's good. I think it's more busted than Skyrim. When you get max sneak, and then what's the I've got it. I've got my game open. I should just look. Let's see. It is Escape Artist. It's basically it's how in it's basically Sneak 5 from Fallout 4, where you when you have max sneak and you crouch, the enemies lose you. But it seems even more effective in Fallout 4 than it is in. I've had so many enemies just basically walk all over me, and they still can't find me in this game. It's weird because some will find you, but there's others that they completely will not find you at all with that perk on.
I can find super mutants standing 15, 20 feet apart from each other, and I can walk between the two of them.
Yeah. Super mutants and Scorched and robots seem to be pretty dumb, but then ghouls are the ones once a ghoul
crazy
finds you,
Why is that?
I mean, I think you could. I don't know if the Bethesda's explained it, but you could probably say, well, they've got some kind of ability to sniff out living people or something. You could. There's that kind of stuff has been in. You get that kind of stuff in, in zombie lore. You'll have something where zombies can smell the living or something crazy like that.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Eddie, longtime listener. Well, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of you, buddy. Thanks for hopping on to the show. That's great. You've been listening to the show for a long time, and that's really amazing to hop on the roundtable and actually participate. Now, what was it that caused that? Was it the interactive community of being able to play with each other online? Was it something to do with Fallout 4 or New Vegas in the past? Just curious. Let me know, Eddie. What broke the camel's back here? What's the straw? Thanks, Eddie, for writing in, and thanks for listening all this time. Really good to hear from you. Let's move on to Josh. Oh, Josh, how's your kidney doing, buddy? Glad everything's going great. Thanks for continuing on in the show here.
Hi, this is Josh from Idaho. Feedback for the character development for the Fallout 76 roundtable. My character, his name is Brown Bottle Flu, Brown for short. He's fat, bald, out of shape, male character. The camp that he was assigned is the Mire. I'm not looking forward to that after hearing people talk about that on the podcast. I haven't been in it yet, but hear that it's pretty tough area. Faction is Raiders. Let's see, mutation is the marsupial that you guys have mentioned. Looks like it's a plus 20 carry weight. And then the side effect, though, is -4 intelligence, which kind of goes along with my guy being a drunk. Let's see, workshop is Billings Homestead. Haven't been there either. My strength is level 9, or going to be level 9. Let's see, Bandolier perk is the perk card that I. It's ballistic weapon ammo, weighs 45% less. My perception is 7, and I have the tank killer perk. So your rifles ignore 12% armor and have a 3% chance to stagger an opponent. Endurance is a 7. Per card for that is rad resistance, so I get plus 10 radiation resistance. Charisma is a 9. I guess my guy's a fun drunk, because that's one of my highest levels, along with strength. Let's see, stabilized is the perk I have for that, and so it says empower armor. Heavy guns gain more accuracy and ignore 15% of armor. The charisma perk was strange in numbers, and that has a positive mutation effects. Are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated as well. Intelligence, I also have a 9, and then I have the stabilized perk. But if I have the marsupial, I guess I'll have a 5 for intelligence. Agility is 7. Pack and light is my perk, and so it says your pistols weigh 25% less. Luck is an 8. I have the ricochet perk, which you can gain a 6, 12, or 18% chance to deflect back some of the enemy's damage from ranged weapons, I believe. So this character, when I started it, I went through the vault, picked up my perk cards, and right when I picked up my perk cards, I leveled up to level 2. And so I chose charisma because that was my first perk that I was supposed to take. And it only gave me 1 card. It didn't allow me to open the whole pack, which in the beta, I ended up with a bunch. So at this point in time, I only have one card. Hopeful that that's not going to stick around, that I will get some packs so that I can fill out the other specials as well with so that charisma card that I got was the same one that I believe Andrews talked about where you get extra AP or extra experience points for being on a team. I haven't teamed up with anyone yet, so I'll probably be going down that Xbox list and trying to add some people and hopefully teaming up so that I can go ahead and get that extra experience. So far in the game, I've only run into 2 trolls. So my way of dealing with them was to run away and kite them into different enemies. I was able to actually get away from both of them that way. Once I was almost dead though, so yeah, it was a little frustrating because I just wanted nothing to do with it, and but it is what it is. Most of my interactions with people have been a lot better. So we'll see y'all in the wasteland.
Awesome, Josh. Thanks for hopping on this season. Kiting trolls is a really good method of shaking them. If you know where a bad guy is going to be, that is. Like, I'm kind of surprised that you were able to just brush them off onto a different bad guy or whatever. Now, I dragged mine into town. Some guy who was trying to fuck with me. I don't even remember what town it was, but I just popped open my map and saw the closest location that had multiple people in it, and I just ran to that town, and then he kind of stopped messing with me once we got to the edge of the city there. Yeah, the beta cards, guys. Any opinions on that? He said he just got 1 card, but in the beta he got a whole pack to start with.
Well, you get the packs on the even number, I think.
Yeah, up to 10 or 15 or something. Then it's on the 5s.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. He said he leveled up when he hit level 2, so he should have gotten a whole pack of cards, but he only got 1.
Yeah.
He said he only got 1 card though.
Yeah, I did not have that specific problem, but it was a beta, right? There's still plenty of bugs or squashing, so definitely does not surprise me if that was something that people ran into. I've not heard about that specific problem, but
I had
no surprise.
I had no idea of this extra benefit of marsupial of the 20 carry weight.
Yeah, 20 carry weight and the -4 intelligence. I'm not sure because I'm not sure what effect it is because I have marsupial, as you guys know, because I've babbled about it a lot. But I can still equip all the intelligence perk cards, so it doesn't actually limit my perk cards, even though I've got the -4 intelligence.
So what does it actually affect? What does
I
intelligence?
have no idea. If it were strength or perception, it would be affecting my bats or my carry weight, but I don't know what intelligence that may. I'd actually in the single player games 3, 4, New Vegas, intelligence increases your experience point gain, but I don't know if that's true in 76.
Well, and this one doesn't it impact the level that you can repair your equipment to?
It might, Ray. Yeah, that's a good question.
I think
Um,
that's
the other thing that does probably affect is the number of duds you get when you're hacking a terminal. I think that's a function of your intelligence and your hacking level. So I think that's one thing. Like you may get more duds if your intelligence is suppressed by a marsupial. But I've got hacking 3 and lockpick 3, and I hardly ever need to go hacking 3. I have to go with lockpick 3 fairly often, but it seems like there's a lot more. Lockpicks, level 3 lockpicks than there are level 3 terminals. At least in my experience so far. Yeah, very important. We probably should repeat this because he did talk about also how charismatic old bald guys were. So I think that's a pretty important takeaway from his comments too.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, negative intelligence I don't think would be a big bummer. I don't think negative charisma would be a big bummer either in this game.
Well, yeah, as long as it doesn't limit your number of charisma cards you can apply. I would agree, because you're not there's certainly nobody there's certainly nobody to convince in a conversation.
Definitely. He mentioned his camp location. If people are mentioning their camp locations, and I haven't even considered, I've just plopped my place down wherever. I haven't even considered my roundtable assignment of where to build yet. But I just looked because I hadn't even noticed where it was. I'm in the Toxic Valley. What does that mean to you guys? I'm still
that's up by Grafton.
That's Grafton, right? Yeah, that's north, like straight north from Vault 76. Grafton. It's like, remember, Andrew, we were running around there on the charity stream day. That's like where it's all like all the trees are blasted and it's all kind of washed out and white.
Okay,
yeah, that's where Wally World is.
I think that's toxic because the what is it? Is a power? Is it a? No, it's a steel company. I think if you read terminals, there's a industrial operation that's poisoning that area. So that's why what is it? What is it, Ray? The ash, where the mining is in the south.
The Ash Heap.
Ash Heap, yeah. So Ash Heap is mining. Toxic Valley. And then there's the forest, which is where you start.
Yep.
And then Watoga is the cranberry bog. And I forget what the Free States is, and that's
the Weird Divide. What is that? The
Savage Divide.
Savage Divide.
That's kind of in the middle. That's kind of in the middle, isn't it? Savage Divide.
Yeah, all the way down almost.
And there's maps online if people are curious as to kind of where all this stuff is. I mean, it's not obvious from the in-game map, but if you go online and start Googling some of these names, you can definitely see. I've seen maps that kind of divide up the general sections, and you can look at it. Like if you look at the in-game map, it's not labeled, but you can tell. Grafton's that kind of bleached out area where the space station is, and the Grafton monster and all that, and the ash heap is where it's all gray and blackened from the toxic mining operations and everything.
I'm gonna go find that space station. That sounds fun.
I have not been in it yet. I've run around outside it.
Yeah, looks great. But he said the mire is where he has to build. I went to some sticky situations over there with fog crawlers and such. I was not expecting Far Harbor to pop up all of a sudden.
Yeah, and gulpers drop
Gulpers
screws.
And anglers. Oh, gulpers drop
Or-
screws?
No, wait. Is it anglers? No, it's gulpers drop. Maybe gulpers drop gear. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's anglers drop screws.
No, I don't know what they drop. I was just saying that all of a sudden fog crawlers, gulpers, and anglers were running at me. I'm like, holy crap, I'm in Far Harbor all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I was sneaking around. I was doing my project where I was trying to just trace the edge of the map, just walk around and you cannot go this way, and just see if I get that message all the way around the loop. And I got to that place and I couldn't go anymore. The mire stopped that project because I couldn't get past all the damn fog crawlers. It was crazy. I might be able to now that my character's a little more high level, but I finally got the combat rifle with that character. That's when the game really opens up with me, is when the combat rifle and combat shotgun are opened up. Speaking of opening up and these cards, and we had a clear perk chart in Fallout 4 where it's like, okay, you have to get this level in order to get this. Do we know what the specific levels are that make each batch of these cards available? Because I know they're not going to give you all the availability of these. It's not totally random. They're not going to give you these really nice cards at really low levels, right?
No, it's not. I thought it was random at first, but then I realized it's actually not. It's just like some of the cards are not available until relatively high levels. There's if you go to the some of the wiki pages, it'll show you. There's a perk chart on the Fallout wiki, the Nukipedia, that shows what you have to be for each level. Yeah,
the distribution level. Okay. Cool.
So what it gives you the option to get is not random. What shows up in the perk packs is random. So like at level 27, everybody has the same access to perks based on being level 27.
But the cards that'll pop out are not.
No, they are. I mean, well,
they're not guaranteed to be. That is the random thing. Is that the card itself?
No, you're actually no. So you level up, and it gives you. It says pick a perk, and the perks that you pick from are based on your level.
Yeah.
So like at level 50, I'm level 60, whatever. I can get any perk in the game once I level up right now. I have access to the entire perk tree.
And 50 is the cap.
50 is 50 is the cap. Nothing is higher than 50. So when I level up, I have the option to grab any perk I want to.
So do we know how many are in the game? I think there was 276 or something in Fallout 4. Do we know how many are?
It's over 200. I forget the specific number.
Right.
But it's different, right? Like they've got, like, for example, lockpick is actually 3 separate perks.
Yeah.
Lockpick is one, or it's picklock, expert picklock, master picklock, 3 separate perks with 1 star each. But
why do you think they went with picklock? That bothers me.
I don't know. But then like rifleman is actually, it's 3 cards, but they have 3 levels. So rifleman is
9.
actually 9. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as opposed to I think it's 5 in Fallout 4. I think if you get rifleman in Fallout 4 is 20, 40, 60, 80, 5 perks to max out. Here it's 9 perks to max out because you have to merge the cards.
What else?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what else has like the 3 separate steps of cards?
I think a lot of the things that are equivalent to rifleman, so commando, what's the gunslinger, commando? I think it's the ones that are equivalent, the melee perks. So I think the ones in Fallout 4, they're 5 levels, whereas here they're not. They're the 3 times 3 or 9 levels.
And that is based on the math because we now have 15 specials.
I think it's just the way they decided to design the game. It's because you you have access, because at level 50 you have access to everything. So there's a level minimum to access a card, but there's not a special minimum. So like if you have 1 point in charisma and there's a level 50 charisma card, you could pick that card at level 50 and use that card if you want to. Whereas remember, think about the grid in Fallout 4. It's 7 by 10, right? So to use Wasteland Whisperer, you have to be 9 or whatever on the charisma chart, or So, but to use the equivalent here, you could just have 1 point of charisma, which you might have to be a certain level. So it's balanced very differently than it is in Fallout 4.
I'm still, developing that.
I think it's I mean, it's actually if for any listeners who kind of want to figure it out, it's probably easier just to go look at, I mean, at this point, the game's been out for 6 weeks and there's been a lot. I don't view the perks themselves as spoilers. So I think I think the easiest way to go is just to go look at the perk chart and on the Nukopedia. That's a lot more clear than trying to make sense of what you see in the game, I think.
They're never great at giving you very clear instructions.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
All right, Josh. Thanks for hopping on this season again. Good to hear from you. Let's hear from Leon. Hi, Leon. Good day.
Daryl's log.
He did start with good day.
Nah, that's too innuendo-y. Is that even a word? Daryl's Daryl. Nah, that's too comic booky. Back to basics. Daryl's diary. Entry -1. Well, tomorrow's reclamation day. I wonder if that witch of an overseer is actually going to let me out. I've read the files. I know that they plan on turning this thing off, including the life support. So if she really, really does want to kill me, that'd be the easiest way to, oops, I forgot to let him out. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure she arranged that fight. I mean, why would anybody come up and talk to me? Everybody hates me in here because I call it the way I see it. They're all stupid idiots for believing everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows, that Vault-Tec's prepared them for the future. Read history, idiots. Anyways, I see them outside prepping for the party. I wonder. I kind of doubt I'm actually going to get out of here. But if I do, I'm going to make some people get even. I got enough of this holotape to last at least a couple more entries. If I do get out, I think I'll scrounge a few more. Daryl's diary. Entry 1. Well, what do you know? She did let me out. They spiked my food, of course. I should have expected that, actually. Especially since they actually gave me some cake. But, I don't know. It might have been the Nuka-Cola cherry. I don't know. Anyways, I overslept because my food was spiked. And everybody's gone, including Larry and Daryl. Some brothers they are. Whatever, they didn't even help me. But I didn't expect it, to be honest. They're both stupid idiots who think, oh, America was this great place and Vault-Tec prepared us for the future. They buy into that BS. I don't. Interestingly enough, they actually left the supplies and stuff. Of course, 1 thing of water. Come on, really? No weapons? I mean, even Vault-Tec admits you're probably going to need weapons outside. And they don't give it to us. Huh. Oh, well. We'll see how it goes. Ha, I was right, though. Vault-Tec ain't to be trusted. I went into the overseer's office. Tapes too, so I can keep this diary going for a while. She must have known somebody would probably do it. Maybe even suspected me because she left a nice little message. Well, probably not me because she knows I wouldn't help her sorry ass no matter what. She could be on fire and I'd probably pour gasoline on her. But Vault-Tec, they left her some secret instructions. She's supposed to find some nuclear silos around here. And get this, she's supposed to keep them for vault tech, even ignoring orders of the U.S. government. So much for being on the good guy's side. Well, I know we're supposed to head out any which direction when the vault door opens, but I may follow her, because I may put a stop to that plan right there. And I'd love to get some revenge for all the BS she's been shoving down everybody's throat these last 20 years. Well, 25 for the real idiots, but either way. Well, I see the vault door in front of me. Let's see what happens. Here it goes.
All right. Any Newhart fans out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. He dropped a good Larry. Hi, my name is Larry. This is my brother Daryl. My other brother
My
Daryl.
other brother
reference there.
Daryl. Yeah.
Good one, Leon. That's great. That's awesome. Excited to hear the continuing adventures of Daryl. And the other night, as the Clauses, I had my festive Mrs. Claus outfit on. He was Mr. Claus, and we had a good time running around. I got to give him some recipes and stuff that some I had used and learned some already. He hadn't gotten any yet. I really like that we can just sort of swap and share and stuff like that. That's really, really nice. And our little side chats we have in our group where it's like Alex is like, or I forget who actually said it, but like, yeah, I've been getting rid of all of my. Anybody using laser guns? I've been getting rid of all of my ammo.
Yeah, that was me.
Was that you?
I have like 1,700 10 mils and like 600 energy cells. So at some point somebody will want them, because I think that was something we were. I think some of us were chatting about, that they will probably never change the game balance so drastically as to let you sell ammo, but maybe eventually they'll make a mechanic where you can at least scrap ammo. Because right now you can't. Because right now, like all this 10 mil, it'd be nice. Because in New Vegas, that was a mechanic they had. You could scrap ammo that you didn't want and turn it into and then it would turn into gunpowder, steel, and lead, and then you could then remake it into ammo. I mean, and so it wasn't one for one. It'd be restricted or whatever. It'd be reduced, but that was a nice way to handle it, where you could sort of take basically you could take like 100 10 mils and turn them into like 50 45s or whatever. I thought that was a pretty reasonable way to do it.
If you're not using it anyway.
Yeah, right.
Or like in Skyrim, I'm not an archer ever, but I always pick up every damn arrow because I can always get some gold for arrows.
Right. Well, it's in New Vegas. That is actually, in terms of my like muscle memory of like just like running through this game, that's the hardest thing for me, is to not pick up ammo that I can't use, because there's really no point to it. If it's something where you're going to try to give it to another player, sure, that's fine, but you can't sell it to a vendor, you can't scrap it. There's no point in picking up ammo unless it's one of the ones you're using. But in every other Fallout game, it's effectively another form of caps.
Yeah, I'm learning that now. I'm still not disciplined enough. I still instinctively just want to grab just absolutely everything to junk.
Well, see, almost everything else has ammo. Is the one thing that has no value if you can't use that particular kind of ammo. So weapons, armor, aid, you can sell all that stuff. Plans and recipes you can give to another player. I mean, ammo you can give to another player, but I have yet to meet a player other than some of the community members who are going to have energy weapons. I've yet to meet a player who's using an energy weapon. You either use melee or use a ballistic weapon. I've not seen a single person, single player character using energy weapons because I think they suck.
I've shot a few of them off, but I
haven't even bothered to shoot one.
Ray, you're a melee guy. Have you shot off an energy weapon yet?
I was in a situation where early on where I had picked up a laser pistol, and I was running out of 308 ammo. So one of my other guns was busted. So I pulled it out and started shooting and quickly switched back to a melee weapon because it was completely ineffective.
Yeah. Do you remember who's laser weapons in this game? Like, there's no sense. The robots can't drop weapons. Do the super mutants use laser weapons? Do the Scorched?
Scorched don't. Super mutants do. Because you can run into super mutants like with Gatling lasers.
My least favorite thing, Fallout 76 out there. My least favorite thing is when I see a Scorched using a weapon that I want, and I kill them and want that weapon, but in their inventory they have a that they weren't even using.
Yeah.
Like, you motherfucker. I wanted that fire axe that you hit me in the face with. And they pipe pistol or something instead. You're like, no.
Yeah, it's really weird. And even you'll see a weapon that has a mod on it that you would like to have, and you pick it up and the mod's not there.
So bizarre.
So Ray, I have not figured out how to use mods in this game because in Fallout 4, if you have a muzzle brake on a weapon and you upgrade it to a suppressor, you get a muzzle brake mod.
Right.
Whereas in this game, if you do that, it just scraps it. You don't actually get a mod. Am I missing something, or is it just working very differently?
Yeah. So when you scrap a weapon, it'll give you a mod. It won't necessarily have anything to do with that weapon other than it's from that.
That gives you a plan.
Well, I guess it's not. Yeah, it's not exactly the same thing, but that's how you unlock the ability to, get a bigger clip or a comfort grip handle or a longer barrel.
Like if you have a weapon and you change it from a short barrel to a long barrel, it scraps the short barrel. It doesn't give you a mod for it, which is what Fallout 4 would do.
Yeah. Yeah, because whatever you do get from scrapping a weapon is completely random.
Yeah.
The only thing you can be sure of is that it'll be something related to that particular class of weapon.
I must have scrapped 100 combat rifles before it gave me the suppressor.
Yeah. It's an odd system. And then half the time you can't even build it on a weapon because it requires, some higher level perk card.
Yeah. Yeah. You may have to have like Gunsmith 5 and scrap the weapon, and it's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
I guess they're just being super conservative with the economy, given that it's online. I mean, there's already been some exploits, the duplication exploit that people have used and stuff like that have actually already happened.
Yeah, and they're patching stuff left and right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it breaks things and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, we're talking about the group about that duplication glitch. You can make your camp super fucking big.
Supposedly that is now fixed, although I haven't, that patch has not been out long enough to sort of get into, understanding whether they actually did patch it, and really truly patched it or not. because a
Are you guys-
lot of the things they patched are have still persisted, at least for some players.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Are you guys super outraged?
You don't have to run the patch. There is a setting in there that where it won't automatically update.
For master race, true, but on console, it won't let you log on if you don't patch.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Overall, it's better to patch. I mean, most of the time,
Yeah,
it works,
definitely.
But there are some things that are sporadic.
Well, then you miss out on some of the fun stuff, like your computer freezing up when you try to log out,
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So every new patch brings a level of intrepidation, because you wonder what did that patch fix and what did it break.
And I think that still happens on consoles, so the console players don't miss out on that. What's going to happen with this? You just never know.
Yeah. But they're fixing stuff pretty darn quick. So
yeah, I agreed.
Hey Pat, what's an example of something that is broken that used to work after a patch on Xbox?
Well, I mean, I was more saying that some there have been things that they said, this patch is going to fix X, but it did not fix X. So like the bug where high level weapons will not damage your opponent. They supposedly fixed that in an earlier patch, but I know Alex was still having that issue with some of his high level weapons. There was the flying bug where if you have like a certain combination of perks and arm and power armor, you can effectively fly. Like you basically like jump to a certain height and you don't come down. So things like that. I mean, look, I think they are fixing them, but they did not necessarily work for all players.
Interesting. Were you guys super duper outraged about the cost of the Santa Claus bundle? This caused quite a stir on Twitter.
I just wish there was a way to give people atoms, because I've got 1,500 of them that I'll never use.
Ray does not give a crap about your floppy nipple hat. Adam.
So I that look, it's purely cosmetic, right? It's like I'm having fun with it in terms of some of the things you can buy. Some of the decorations and camp items, and just I think it's fairly entertaining. So I'm having a good time with it. But certainly,
I only play first person, so most of the stuff I would never see anyway.
And you don't build camps either,
and I don't take pictures.
You don't like photo mode, so who gives a fuck? Now, my complaint about it would be, it was $20. I didn't spend all. I've been saving my atoms because I knew something like this would happen. That they would bring out a Santa Claus suit or something. So I wanted to get that. So I had, I don't know, $1,400, $1,500 something. I only had to spend $5 of real money. So I got those. And by the way, I hope my son never figures that out, because it is way too easy to click yes, yes, and yes, and all of a sudden spend $20 on these atoms.
Yeah, you have to be pretty careful about that. That is true. Yeah.
It's very easy to drop money on these. But my complaint about it here is yesterday or a couple days ago, I got the Santa Claus suit. Elated, love it, looks great. Got the reindeer on the roof, looks amazing. Now today I open up the Atomic Shop, and there's yet another Christmas themed bundle with a yard ornament of a snowman, an elf costume with a cool hat, and string up Christmas lights to put around your camp. Why the fuck could that not be in my original bundle for $20? That's a little crazy, I think, because it is also $20 for this one. That's a little crazy, I think.
Bethesda is not a charity, right? What are they trying to do? They're in this to make money, Yeah. And
No
so
joke.
I don't know. It's just a bit to me. It's a bit the nature of the beast. Like, it's just something. It's
This
just
seems, to me, it seems they could have lumped all that together. I know that they won't, so they can make more money. But the emotes are also like $12. I think they could just lump all the holiday stuff together. That would have been fine. But
one
again,
package for $50. Is that better? That's what it would have been, right? It's not like they would have given you everything for the same price.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but yeah,
those Christmas lights are really what I want, Pat. I want to hang around my little camp there.
I do admit that elf suit was pretty freaking cute. I did not buy it yet, but I may have to break down and buy that. I'm being chased by 4 glowing ones. Oh, this will be fun.
Run away. The snowman is adorable, and I'd love to find a place around. If anybody has any opinions, but I'd love to find a really good place. There's no place that looks like snowy, I'm sure. But what is the closest?
Well, there's the ski slopes.
The North Pole. There's no like snow there though. But there's some probably barren, ashy place. That's close enough, right? We'll find a North Pole somewhere.
Yeah, those the probably the ash pits around Grafton may be the closest thing to like looking like snow.
Well, then that's where my camp is, so that might be appropriate. I might have to start scouting up locations up that way. I might take the move. It's not a terribly high leveled area, correct?
Grafton's kind of mid level, I would say. It's not Vault 76, but it's also not it's not the bog either.
Well, I'm almost level 20, so I can probably start moving up that way. We had a really awesome dude who created our random character generator for us. He's been playing along with us for the last few seasons at least. Always a great member of our community. We'd love to hear from Steve. Steve, thank you for sending in your feedback, sir.
Kia ora koto, everybody. Steve in New Zealand here with the first update for my Fallout 76 playthrough. This is really fun because I have no idea what I'm doing. I log on and I go, what the hell am I doing? It's great. So I got a character rolled for me that I have nobody but myself to blame for. Ha! I'm not complaining. His name is Morris. Gouverneur Morris. That's either Gouverneur with the French pronunciation or Governor. I initially thought about going with Morris the cat, because I rolled the name Morris. But after I learned of Gouverneur Morris, I knew that his had to be the story I had to tell. So Gouverneur Morris the 10th, the great grandson of Gouverneur Morris and the American statesman. He was a founding father of the United States and a signatory to the Articles of the Confederation and the United States Constitution. He wrote the preamble to the United States Constitution and has been called the penman of the Constitution. So, Gouverneur Morris the 10th, my character, was recruited to enter Vault 76 based on his lineage. He's come out of Vault 76. He's set on being a leader and rebuilding Appalachia, but mostly he's running around the forest area since he came out, which works out because that's his camp zone. His final stats are going to be Strength 9, Perception 9, Endurance 7, Charisma 5, Intelligence 10, Agility 10, and Luck 6. So pretty good rolls there. I like using the random character generator to roll to tell me what level to take for my special points. It removes at least one question that gets me hemming and hawing every time I have a perk point to take there. I'm not really paying much attention to the perk cards I rolled yet. I'm really just using what I can get. I took one in shotgunner and skeet shooter, so I'm kind of looking at shotguns. And then also I'm using Slugger and Makeshift Warrior for melee. I got a hold of a spiked rocket bat, which is pretty cool. And I mostly run around solo, but it was super fun to team up with the other PC players when we had 6 or 7 of us the other day. We had trouble figuring out what to do that was really going to be a challenge for us, but we did have a lot of fun just running around. And I think some of us were still trying to figure out how to play with others. That includes me. So, because most of my time I'm solo in the game. Well, I'm looking forward to digging into the main quest lines and seeing what the game has to offer. I'm totally enjoying it, and I'm sure I'll be playing it quite a bit over the next few years. So, well, that's pretty much my quick introduction to Gouverneur Morris. And thanks, everybody. And I will literally see you in the wasteland.
What do you guys think the differences are? Having to learn to play with other people versus playing solo.
For me, the key is finding like a group of people you're compatible with, right? You know, people that kind of have your same sort of play style and sort of add, you know, some people are going to be really intense about, you know, some people are going to get really upset. Oh, geez, you fucked that up, right? You screwed that up. Whereas other people, it's like, oh, whatever, you know. And I think that's the thing. You want to make sure you can be really intense, you can be really low key, but you don't want to mix those two in the same like little team or whatever. So that to me is the main thing. Is just getting people that have the same kind of approach to the game. You know, they're either just looking to run around and explore, or they're looking to be very like looking to you know to gain a lot of levels or whatever. But if you have people that have diametrically opposite goals, they're not going to make a good team.
Have you? I know there's no fucking way Ray has ever done this. Have you ever come across a random person and just teamed up and ran around with them?
No, why would you do that? You yuck. Other people? Yeah, yuck. Strangers? Talk to strangers?
Just our group.
Ah.
I know you're a big solo guy as well.
Well, I didn't team up with the guy, but I did run around him and cause the enemies to take him out instead of me. Is that the same thing?
That's not quite the route I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, I did meet up with some guy and then I shot him and killed him."
I ended up. I was running from some rats. For some reason, I have a hard time with the rats, and I ran into a building, and somebody had their camp outside, and evidently this was a one of the workshops that you can take over. And so, you know, I'm running around and I get inside this building and there's a bunch of robots. And so they start attacking me. And so, you know, I took them out and all of a sudden I've got a bounty.
Weird.
Because I guess they belonged to this other player because he had taken over the workshop.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, well, shit. So, you know, the rats were all dead. The robots were all dead. I left the building and started heading down the road and figured, yeah, it won't be long. Somebody will take me out. And, you know, sure enough, I stopped in front of a power plant and, you know, bam, somebody hit me. And it was, I didn't take revenge or anything. It was like, okay, good. Thanks for getting rid of this stupid bounty on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex accidentally shot me or something. I don't know if he didn't have his PvP turned off or whatever, but he accidentally shot me. Got a bounty and wanted me to kill him to get rid of the bounty, and then I get some sort of achievement or something for that. I think
you get caps and yeah.
And I was very surprised. He was already over 120 or something at that point. And it just took, you know, 2 or 3 shots and he was down. I thought that if he was such a high level character that it would just take forever for me to take him down. But
the PvP has a specific mechanic that makes I mean, I don't know the math, but basically PvP sort of flattens the curve. So that it doesn't really matter what level, I mean, it's not that it doesn't matter at all, but it's much flatter than you would expect,
Yeah,
just based on pure levels.
It was just I shot him a few times and he was down.
Yeah. I had a similar experience to Ray where I was actually online and Alex messaged me and said, "Hey, come look at this camp. It's great." And that was the one he actually put it on the Facebook group for listeners who are in the Facebook group. It was the one where somebody had set up near White Spring, basically a merchant shop where it was all these different little areas, and there was a player who was serving as the security guard and all this other stuff, and he had a locked area, and I wasn't going to steal anything from him. I was like, well, what the hell's in this locked door? So I picked the locked door, not realizing that picking a locked door in somebody's owned camp will make you wanted. So I got wanted just for picking a lock, and I just ran around until one of the people who was hanging around killed me, which is same thing. It's like, fine, kill me, get rid of the wanted, and we're done with it. But,
what else can get you wanted? What are all the things?
Attacking somebody's camp, or attacking a player or attacking a player's camp are the two things I'm aware of. I don't think.
What about like stealing their corn or something?
No, I don't think that does it. I don't think that will do it. Because you've stolen my corn before and you didn't turn wanted.
I thought we were on a team.
No. You pick some of my stuff. I mean, it's fine. I don't care, but I don't think picking consumables will make you wanted.
No.
Picking a lock, smashing workshop, actually attacking a player will make you wanted.
I also run down the hill and steal your purified water when you're not looking.
Yeah. Well, purified water is a container, so I don't know if it works the same way. It may actually give. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, and we had when the PC group was playing. I think it was Lee that ended up with a bounty, and Lee and I were teammates, but none of the rest of us were on a team. And so Sarah took out Lee to get the wadded off of him, and because Lee was on my team, she became a hostile to me. So it took quite a while in game before she turned back to neutral.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
It's like I took over a camp for our stream team. There was 2 teams of 4 running around together. I took over camp and then Juan stole it from us. Son of a bitch. But yeah, I don't know. Did all 4 of them turn hostile then?
I don't think taking a camp will make you wanted. Because I mean that's
okay.
a workshop.
Stealing a workshop. Okay.
Yeah, taking a workshop is because the game wants you
part
to
of the
do that.
game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, but when Jess ended up taking out one of the turrets, when it was the other team's workshop, made her wanted.
Interesting.
So it's if you damage somebody else's camp.
Yeah, because if you go to the workshop bench and claim it, it does that thing where it like gives you that countdown.
Yeah.
Before it will get, and that I don't think will make you wanted because the game mechanic is intentionally works that way.
Right. Yeah. No, it won't.
So Andrew, I think it was like when you claimed the workshop that rando person owned.
Yeah.
It didn't make you wanted. But then once the battling started, then at that point it potentially could. Yeah.
Right on. Steve, thank you so much for your feedback and for designing the awesome character generator.
Yeah. Very nice.
He said he's getting used to these perk cards again. Bunch of them to get used to now. Whole new ball game. Thought it took a while to learn Fallout 4. I think it's going to take even longer to learn how Fallout 76 really works.
Yeah.
And, Ray, I also have a problem with the rats.
Yeah, the rad rats are no fun whatsoever.
Yeah.
I find I just got to get to the melee. I just pull out the axe as soon as possible. They're almost like the Mirelurk spawn. What are those things called? The little
Hatchlings.
hatchlings. Yes, they're crazy. They're at your feet. Yeah, I pull out my shotgun, and I play in third person, and everyone knows that Bethesda just kind of tacks on third person. It's not really the game is built for first person play. Because when I aim at something in third person and it looks like it's dead on, I won't hit anything. But if I switch to first person without moving my scope or whatever, I find out, oh, I'm actually pointed 3 feet to the right. It's like, oh, so and with the Pit Boy too, your Pit Boy light on like if you're wearing a mining helmet, if you're in third person, it doesn't point where your camera angle points. It's like where your face is pointed, of course. So, but in first person, when you swing your camera around, the light travels with you. But in third person, it doesn't. It just stays pointed straight forward. So, but I was saying with the rad rats, I pull out the shotgun, but there seems to be something in 76 where if you're too close to something, it thinks it's behind you. It's offset a couple of feet, like I was mentioning with the sights with third person and first person.
I had something weird. It was my first game after this week's hot fix, and I had an issue where like VATS was not functioning properly. I was missing, like when I have my 95% VAT chance with my sniper rifle, it will hit exactly as you expect, like basically almost every time. But I was having these issues where VATS was not hitting even when I was getting 95%. So there's like something glitched out, and then I joined another world or whatever, and it corrected itself. So there is weird stuff like that where you'll just get like a persistent glitch that you just that's hard to figure out.
I had something where VATS wouldn't even engage. It was making the sound, but it wasn't actually kicking in.
Huh.
What the hell is going on? And when I switched worlds, it cleared up. So thought that was interesting. I thought it was a problem with my like AP or something. I was like, do I not have enough points? I was like, no, it looks like there's plenty there. Weird.
I've had that happen where VATS just doesn't function for a particular combat or a particular scene or whatever. Yeah, I've had that kick in before.
So Ray, I try to use my shotgun if they're at mid range, but I switch over to that axe as soon as I can. I hate those rad rats. Sons of bitches. All right, closing up the show this evening, we have listener Will. Will, I believe, first time caller. So thanks for hopping onto the project, sir.
Hi, everybody. This is Will with feedback about my character role for Season 7 of the Fallout feed. Very quickly, before I get to my character role, I just wanted to say a couple of things. I had played along with you guys last season by just rolling myself a character and secretly kind of doing the quest along with everyone. And I just had a great time doing all that, But while I tried to stick to my role, I did find myself cheating sometimes with no accountability or anything. And I would revert to some traditional playstyle techniques, not always pick the assigned perks, etc. Andrew talked the other day about the point of the podcast and the community was to get you out your comfort zone and experience kind of different things and all that. So for this season, I've decided to just dive in with both feet, which first and foremost would be by starting with submitting audio feedback, which I could never, ever have imagined myself doing, ever. Also, in the past, I've always played games kind of generically with not really truly role-playing them, with a backstory or anything. But since I'm all in this time around, I'm going to give it a shot by and play the way I think the character that I roll would play. So, all that said, let's talk about my character, Hazel. Also, bear in mind, this is my first time doing anything like this. A little nervous, so please Forget my lack of creativity. Anyways, Hazel. First off, he hates being called Hazel. He likes to go by the nickname Hayes. He gets super angry when anyone does call him Hazel, which is, of course, why everybody calls him Hazel. I'd made up this story that when he was born, his parents first saw him in the hospital. He had these striking hazel blue eyes, and they just started calling him Hazel, and it stuck. He has hazel blue eyes, but his name is Hazel Green. When I first rolled a character, nothing really stood out as far as the points distribution. Somewhat strong. He's strength of 9, perception 7, endurance 8, charisma 7, intelligence 11, agility 8, luck 6. As soon as I started looking at the perks, though, I realized he seemed to be just resistant to all sorts of things. He has a blocker perk, which is less damage from melee, refractor, it's energy resistance, natural resistance, which is resistance to disease. Quack surgeon is, I think, you revive players with alcohol. And already right then, started getting my idea. He was just this big,
Oh man,
tough dude that can handle anything. He's just like, just have a beer, you'll be all right, you know. And so from there, I started coming up with this background. You know, he was originally in the Army and kind of became disillusioned with it, you know, decided not to re-enlist one time and went into the private security sector, got a job at Vault Tech, ended up at Vault 76, which he has an intelligence of 11. So I thought that made sense since Vault 76 only had the best and the brightest. That perk was science, which is energy weapons, can craft those and stuff. His other perks are Mr. Sandman, which silence weapons more powerful at night, a one-gun army, heavy gun, stagger, and cripple. I'm hoping that that maybe the Gatling laser gun counts as both energy and a heavy weapon. That way I can combine those. His location is a forest. Faction is responders. You know, and all that's just kind of keeping him right there by Vault 76 because I'll be around there. And I thought the responders make sense given his background that he's, you know, security, army, likes to just help people and stuff. His mutation, electrically charged. I thought this also made sense as far as him just being real tough. When he's attacked by melee attackers, they receive shock damage. So, you know, I just thought that also worked out. The workshop, Billings Homestead, also very near Vault 76. That's the character role I got. This is very different from anything I've ever played before. Like, I've never really ever worried about just making myself, worrying about my self-defense. I always just kind of sneak around and just doing extra strong, making my character powerful so I could one or two shot someone, you know, without really even getting hit or whatever. So that's going to be different. Also, I typically in Fallout games, I don't ever even worry about energy weapons or the heavy guns. So that's going to be something new for me. Everything about this season is going to be very new for me. So I'm a little nervous, pretty excited about it. And we'll see how it goes. Anyways, looking forward to seeing everyone in the wasteland. Bye.
that was really, really great, Will. Thank you. Your first attempt was a grand slam. Really good job, man. Thank you for getting up the gusto to come in and play along with us.
That was the hard one.
Yeah.
So he nailed it. It's all downhill from here. He's going to be old hat before he knows it.
Yeah. Solid backstory. I am not a role player, Will. All these people who tell these stories that are surrounding us, those people are good at role playing. I am also not I just hop into the game and play it. It's hard for me to put myself into the shoes of other players, but this roundtable project has kind of helped me sort of round out my ability to try to create a backstory and then play a character, you know, actually play the character instead of the way I always fall back on playing.
Now you keep saying that, Andrew, but I listened to Skyrim Addict Lost episode 34, and there was a story about a robot that came to Skyrim to Dwemer robot, and that was quite a story.
What was it? Mazal? What was that called?
I don't remember what her name was, but yeah, it was good stuff. Oop, did we lose Andrew?
Andrew, still there? Oh, I might have lost him.
Yep.
Well, the other the other dirty little secret is, the round table is there for you to have fun. So if you want to cheat, you can cheat. Nobody will know.
That's true. Well, and even if we do, we don't really hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, exactly. So people should. I always thought about the round table. When I was following along or playing along, it was you want to use it as inspiration. Definitely, it's fun to follow along. But like if you're at a spot where you need to pick a lock and you need to grab a level of lock pick, or you need to grab a perk for something. Do whatever, do what's going to be fun. Come back to the roundtable roll. Don't abandon it completely, but also don't let it constrict you to the point that you're not having fun anymore. That's really the key. Is you have fun, try some different things, just stretch yourself, but feel free to play around if it's not something that you're you don't have to go crazy with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Andrew, looks like Andrew has dropped out, unfortunately.
Yeah, he should pop back on shortly.
Yeah.
And I think he said that was the last one.
I believe so. Yeah.
But then he's also got the outro music, so we can't quit.
Yeah, we're stuck, right? We're stuck in podcast limbo. We're never gonna go. Yeah, I've been sitting here, killing some ghouls, getting a level. It's yeah. I don't know if people have other trick. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see as people play through the round table, go through the game. Like, what are people's gimmicks and tricks and things for where do people like to go to farm certain resources, or where do they like to go to grab a few levels, that sort of thing. I think White Spring with all those ghouls that they're there, regardless of whether it's been nuked or not, is a common place for people to go and kind of power through some levels. But interesting to see what people think about other locations or other places that that are good for getting certain objectives accomplished.
Yeah, and the great thing is, I mean, it's brand new for all of us. So, it's just there's just so much exploration to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just, figuring out how shit works. Unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of time to play. This is a super busy season, and so I'm looking forward to coming out the other side and having a little bit more time to get into it.
Yeah, my time has been real sporadic. I'll have a week where I can play several hours a day or whatever, and then I'll have a week where I'm out of town or have something going on and not able to play. So mine has been it's kind of best when you don't have a specific constraint like that, because what I find is like I'll go online and I'll say if I'm traveling or something, I'll follow Twitter or look at Reddit or something. I'll say, oh, here's a thing I just got to try, and I'll get back on, I'll get home and I'll want to try something, and that actually may ultimately be sort of not necessarily something that is really that something that fits what I'm trying to do right now with the character or whatever. So it's it is, but I am finding it genuinely is just a huge game. I mean, there is still a lot yet to explore. When I see, when I look at what people post in the Facebook group or what gets posted on other places online, there's like, I've never been there. I have no idea what that place is, which is nice. It's good that there's still plenty of different things to explore. Even a few months later, a few weeks later.
Oh yeah. And the other thing is, by being such an open world, that it gives them the opportunity to add stuff as we go along too. So,
yeah, I guess what did I see? They're going to do. Looks like they're going to start doing. Like I don't know what I don't know what they're calling it. Like basically like world events where you're like log onto the world and like there'll be something going on. Yeah, I think there's a lot of location events that happen already, and location events or faction events. But it sounds like they are gonna play around with that. And I've not done a lot of other MMOs, so I don't know if that's a normal sort of mechanic for MMOs to play around with. Is different kinds of like server level events. Do you remind me, Ray? Do you play ESO?
No, not at all.
Yeah. I guess Juan is our is maybe our biggest ESO player. I guess Juan and Colin. I think Colin plays ESO.
Yeah, Sherry. I think Sherry's a big ESO player too.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, she's definitely posted a fair amount of stuff about that. So yeah, that'll be something once the people like Juan and Sherry have had a chance to play around with this game. It'll be interesting to see what the experience is, because it just what I've read, it seems like they're fairly